So I am planning a video series called When Bad Becomes Good in Heavy Metal. I know that I and some of you have an inclination toward the more obscure, raw-sounding heavy metal, and in that there is most often some form of imperfection, at least in the eyes of someone used to more mainstream metal, that doesn't take anything away but rather adds something of value, and I will try to identify some of these factors. In this video it is about the English language. I've always been fascinated by incorrect English in music, and I guess the reason is the same as for other bad things. It shows a will to play heavy metal no matter what. No waiting until things are perfect, no corporate decisions, just go for it. The feeling shines through. Not only the general will to play even if our text writer isn't great at English, but for every sentence there is this notion that it comes straight from the heart, like it's a directly translated inner picture of something without any filters. Often it's a bit subtle with no blatant mistakes, but rather that the bands don't quite express themselves the same way that an English speaker would. Like, for example, Accryl, victims in chains. Those words are a bit redundant. There's this sort of feedback loop between those words. But the sheer will to make something cool, combined with the words themselves, makes it cooler than the sum of its parts. A little quirk like this can also tease your brain and make you think, couldn't they be in chains because they have victims of their own? Are they really victims themselves? We've sometimes talked about lack of self-awareness being a huge factor in helping to love a band. More on that in another video, by the way. And since I assume that all these bands with the English aren't doing this on purpose, I think I can safely say that it is a part of this awesome lack of self-awareness. Speaking of, when we started out, I was heavily influenced by bands that had mistakes in the English language, and I often intentionally used not so great English, but I am not so sure that it's very effective when forced in that way. So I want to know, do you have any examples of bands who you assume know better but have still done this thing? And do you have any favorite examples of incorrect English? And I am especially curious, you who have English as your native language, what do you think about all of this? Of course, this thing with bad English isn't just indicative of heartfelt music, it is funny as well. And I like to collect YouTube comments, especially under heavy metal videos, displaying interesting language. And I'll leave you with some of the best examples, and I'll see you in the next video.
I'm sitting in the dark, I'm waiting for a cab. The moon is full and the stars begin to shine. I see your light, but it wasn't the right shine. It rolled across the street into the smoke and the fire, waiting for a cab. Restless in my mind, I'm angry and I'm blind. Whoa, waiting for a cab. One